It's true, and you know it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Quisha King Show, where we discuss faith, culture, and politics, all geared towards the next generation. Well, looky. Tiffany Cross just lost her cookies. She got fired by MSNBC. And this is really, funny to me and also thought provoking because there's this whole sentiment going around about being anti white. Basically, if you are white and Republican, you're no good. If you're black and Republican, you're no good. If you're white and Democrat, you can say anything, you can do anything, you can use the N word against Clarence Thomas, you can say anything you want. If you're black and Democrat, you can be anything you want. Well, not really, because you're still oppressed, even though many of the leaders of the Democrat Party who are black, they reach higher heights and they do pretty much all the things that they want to do. And they look back and tell all the other black people, America's racist and can't do anything, despite them making it. But anyway, I find this very interesting. And people will try to come up with all kinds of things. Oh, she was, mistreated. She wasn't really all that bad. She wasn't, whatever you try to say. Here's just a little bit of what Miss Tiffany Cross has said recently.
Many of us have seen the dangers when powerful white people decide they want something, they annex it. And they've never had a problem replacing the people who stand in their way.
We see American white people are going crazy. They're resorting to violence.
This is literally what conservative white folks do when they don't get their way. They turn violent.
White people deputizing themselves in some position of authority to have jurisdiction over your life when they need to mind their blinking business.
I don't think it's our responsibility to be tasked with destroying and dismantling the racial oppression that's against us. That's just saying we're more at fault than the white people who constructed this system and the white people who continue to practice institutional racism.
A majority of white people do not support policies that would unpack and unroll and reform this system of justice. This is what they want. Matt Gaetz is giving the white folks what they want.
White replacement can strangle culture. So yes, we should all be concerned about white replacement. It is, after all, a very threat to our survival here.
Tiffany, what do you think? One's got to go.
I say Florida literally looks like the of the country. Get rid of Florida.
You hear all that. And the first thing I want to say is, for people who are so utterly, deathly afraid of white people, they sure do talk a lot of stuff about white people. They really don't seem too afraid to me. They feel pretty liberated to say whatever they want about one group of people. That's how you know it's a whole bunch of nonsense. So we can't walk around here and pretend that there are people, white and black, honestly, that go around saying a lot of bad things about white people, despite trying to pretend that they are not racist when they are racist. I mean, it's just racist. Now we have all these different definitions of what racism is, but that is racism. People making these comments on our show, led by her, she's in complete and total agreement with. And I just find it funny. They're like the black mind whisperers. They are like the people who can read the minds of white folks, and they just know everything that white people are thinking. White people see black people and they just, like Matt Gaetz, and he's just doing all this oppression and he's being, replacing people, and he wants to. You don't know the hearts and intents of anybody, black, white, Asian, Hispanic. You don't know. No one knows the heart and intent of someone until an action is done. Okay. You can't, perceive just by virtue of somebody's skin color what their heart may what they want, what they think about you, you have no idea. You really have no idea. Recently, I was running into a place. I just wanted to say hi to a few people, and I saw someone that I knew, and I just waved really quick, where normally I would have probably went over and given a hug, but I was just kind of like one track minding it. And I was like, let me get in here and say hi. And so they called me and they were like, oh, is everything good? Are we cool? And I'm like, yeah, why? What's up? And they're like, oh, because, when you see me, you typically, give a hug or something. I was like, oh, I was just, think I had, something on my mind and I was just, one track mind and da 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 da. But, some people may have taken that, oh my God, maybe Quisha doesn't like white people, but you never know what somebody is thinking. I mean, don't you have to like know a little bit more about a situation? Aren't we? I don't know. I just believe in actually judging people beyond their skin color. Like, I don't think that really is the right thing to do. And I'm totally against this thing. Like, okay, well, there were white people who were racist in the past. So now, therefore, anytime I see somebody white today, I got to just assume that they hate Black people. That's real stupid. There was this other time while I'm telling stories, there was this other time I was at work and I was next to my coworker who was a white guy. And we were talking about, I don't even remember what we were talking about. What I was asking him, like, where his family's from and like where he's from. He was like a first generation American. His grandmother literally had moved here from Britain. And so it just made me think like, oh my gosh, just because somebody's white doesn't mean that they've been here forever. Like, he had nothing to do with slavery, or his family had nothing to do with slavery. But today, a person like Tiffany Cross, she would see him and he's automatically a racist. And you have to stop these white men and all of this stuff. And it's like, dang, the dude ain't even from here. Like, he's not even from here. He's like first generation American, or his mother moved from Britain. And so it was like, what about people like Elon Musk? Like, his children won't have an accent, right? And Elon, I mean, he doesn't have an accent, but his children won't have an accent, but his children are first generation Americans. So somebody like Tiffany Cross would accuse his kids of being, just automatically racist. And they're from Africa. Okay. So it's like, we have got to stop judging people like this. It is ripping the country apart. Can't you guys see that? This is not about race. If it was about race, let's think about this for a second. If it was about race, why would Black people, be saying vile things and wishing harm upon my body? If it was about race, once I became Republican, I'm still Black. So if it was about race, then how come I don't get the Black pass because I'm Republican? If it was about race, how come Tiffany Cross, all of this stuff that she says about white men, she had white bosses, she had white men. There's white people in the top of the organization. I think her immediate manager or boss or whatever was a Black lady. But all of this stuff that she's talking about white people, she's working in a primarily white executive team. So I don't understand, but they're Democrats, so it's different. That's what it's about. It's about the politics. It's not about the race. It is not about race, because if it was about race, y'all, the Black people who have everything to say to me, because I am a Republican, I vote Republican, you would have nothing, you wouldn't have anything negative to say. You're like, oh, that's a sister, so she's cool. She might be Republican, but hey, but you don't. You treat me with utter disrespect. And you don't give that same smoke to white Democrats. So if it was about race, why don't you treat the white Democrats the same way you treat the white Republicans? And why don't you treat the Black Republicans the same way you treat the Black Democrats? But you don't. It's not about race. It's about politics. Again, this is about Marxism, communism coming into our country. They want to divide us so they can have their revolution. If you can't see that by now, I don't know what to tell you. But keep watching, because I'm sure we'll see more. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.